In Soviet history, many high-profile and trusted allies of Stalin became victims of his repressions. These were individuals who were once his closest companions, but despite their close ties to the leader, they faced brutal purges and were destroyed by the very political system they had helped create. The first and most well-known victim of Stalin's repressions is Lev Trotsky, the leader of the Red Army, the ideologue of the 1917 revolution, and one of the founders of the Soviet state. He was one of Lenin's closest allies, but after Lenin's death, Trotsky became Stalin's main political opponent. In 1927, Trotsky was expelled from the party, and in 1929, he was exiled from the Soviet Union. After many years in exile, Trotsky was assassinated in Mexico in 1940 by an NKVD agent, symbolizing Stalin's repressions against political opponents. Nikolai Yezhov, one of the most prominent figures in Stalin's repressive apparatus, was appointed the head of the NKVD in 1936 when the Great Purge began. He actively carried out mass arrests, executions, and deportations, playing a key role in the purges. However, in 1938, when his influence began to threaten Stalin, Yezhov was arrested, accused of anti-Soviet activity, and executed. His repressions were later used by Stalin to strengthen his own power, and Yezhov became an example of how the Stalinist system could devour even its closest allies. Sergei Orjonikidze was not only a member of the Politburo, but also one of Stalin's personal friends from his youth, serving as the People's Commissar of Heavy Industry. He was responsible for the industrialization of the Soviet Union. However, by the mid-1930s, his views on management methods and the purges diverged from Stalin's, and he began to criticize some repressive actions. In 1937, facing mounting pressure and the arrests of his subordinates and his brother, Orjonikidze died under unclear circumstances. The official version was suicide, and many historians believe this was the only way for him to avoid a public trial and execution. Mikhail Tukhachevsky, the Marshal of the Soviet Union and one of the most prominent military leaders, fell victim to Stalin's purges. In 1937, he was arrested on charges of being part of a conspiracy to overthrow Stalin. After brutal torture, Tukhachevsky confessed to things he did not commit and was executed. His death was part of a large-scale purge among the military, which affected thousands of officers and weakened the command of the Red Army. Vyacheslav Molotov, one of the key figures in Stalin's political elite, also suffered from the repressive regime, although his career was long and successful. In 1949, his wife, Polina Zhemchuzina, was arrested, which served as a direct blow to Molotov himself and demonstrated his vulnerability. After Stalin's death, Molotov went through a period of political isolation and was removed from power, but in 1957, he was rehabilitated. He became one of the few who survived the Stalinist system, though he lost a significant portion of his influence. The Stalinist repressive system, while ensuring the leader's absolute power, did not spare even those who were once his closest allies. Many in his circle became victims of the very system they had once helped build. These tragic fates serve as a vivid reminder of how cruel and unforgiving political struggles can be.